Okay. We're back like we never left, like we never went anywhere. Eh? How are you doing? So, quite a lot is going on in our very beautiful country. Um, it's indeed an amazing time to be alive. Nene Blessing, how you day? 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 Today I want to talk about Nigeria. People have been disturbing me. Daddy Freeze, you never talk about Nigeria. And we are going through so much in this country. Daddy Freeze is not fair. You never talk about Nigeria. It's not nice. You should talk about Nigeria, your country. Talk about Nigeria. People are suffering. I'm coming. Daddy Freeze, people are suffering. Yeah, Daddy Freeze, you should talk about Nigeria. So I'm going to talk about Nigeria today. And what I'm going to say about Nigeria might offend you. That will say it. How are you all doing? Hmm? How are you all doing? Okay, so first things first. Natasha is somebody I know very well. Um, she's my sister and she's my friend, and Nigeria happened to her. Chichi Obama. Chichi Obama. Ọmọ mi tó set. Ọmọ mi tó overset. Ah, are you guys ready so I can talk? Are you guys ready so I can talk? Rezam. O'Shea. Uh-huh. So I go talk. So, first things first, I find it extremely hard to sympathize with Nigerians. I find it very hard to sympathize with Nigerians. And I will say this. In as much as I pity my brothers and sisters who live in this country, in as much as I love them and I pity them, it is hard for me to feel sorry for Nigerians. Because one, I say this thing about Nigerians. One, we have amnesia and low IQ, or a combination of both. Both amnesia and low IQ. We have a combination of both. Amnesia and low IQ. It has gotten to the point where somebody needs to talk about it. How can I continuously feel sorry for people who do not feel sorry for themselves? I saw Goodluck Jonathan talking today, and Goodluck Jonathan said something that I found very, very worrying. You can see it on Tunde Ednot's blog. If you go there, you see it right there on Tunde Ednot's post. You know what tripped me is Tunde Ednot posted this. At the vex, so nine they make me. Dele Sings, how are you doing? Tunde Ednot posted this. This is what President Jonathan said. Why can't I search? Okay. Goodluck Jonathan said this. He said, one day Nigerians will have two massive buildings in Abuja displaying the pictures of those who truly ruined this country. Their grandchildren will visit and see their grandfathers were part of the problem of this country. And people were applauding Goodluck Jonathan. People were hailing him. And you want me to fight for Nigeria? Goodluck Jonathan said there will be, where did this problem we are in emanate from? Is it that you people, your IQs are so low? Or you have full-blown amnesia? Someone said, I'm seeing your comment. I saw your comment, but nothing concerned him with Desiani. Under your watch, Desiani walked away with billions of dollars. Under your watch. And you are blaming other people for ruining Nigeria? You see, Nigeria's problem will continue to be a problem because we don't like Tinubu. Any other person, if we like him, he can steal. But the one we don't like is the one we will fight. Since you don't see me, you don't ever... I never will I carry a Nigerian cause. Never. Never, ever will I carry a Nigerian cause. In my entire life, you will never see me do it. Because it is not worth it. It is Nigeria is not worth coming out to fight for. Not because there's anything wrong with Nigeria, but because there's everything wrong with Nigerians. The way we think in this part of the world, The way our minds work in this part of the world, we can never. Somebody said Tinubu's boys are stealing massively as we speak. What is there to steal? Do you think, have you sat down to actually understand the kind of stealing that was allegedly going on during Jonathan's time when there was money? Right now they have breadcrumbs. Do you realize now that 1.7 billion naira is just $1 million? There was a time when 1.7 billion naira was $11 million, and that was Jonathan's time. I'm not saying Jonathan is a devil, but I'm telling you that there is no, apart from Obasanjo, there is no Nigerian government that worked. Is it Babangida that we want to talk about? Is it Abacha that we want to talk about? Is it Abdul Salam that we want to talk about? Is it Yaradua that we want to talk about? Is it Jonathan that we want to talk about, or Buhari that we want to talk about? The only government that I can say contributed their quota was Jonathan. The only person that worked was Obasanjo. Thank you, Tolu. Sorry, my mind is everywhere. Somebody vexed me today. Obasanjo worked to the best of his ability. He did something. Obasanjo repaid off our debt. Whether he paid it in cash or he got them to waive it, he handed a debt-free government to Yaradua. I want us to have this conversation today. Obasanjo, as in, we were not owing anything under Obasanjo. Obasanjo wanted to do a third term. And I was like, you see, Nigeria's biggest problem, God, I never see a coagulation of people who don't get sense. The easiest way to a Nigerian man's heart is sentiment. And let me tell you, that's why I fight religion. That's why my biggest quarrel in this life is religion. Because religion makes you think sentimentally. 1,000 people are giving one coin. All of them are giving one coins. One coin. Heads or tails. Then the person says, heads or tails. Everybody checks. The person says, heads this side. About half of them will go one side. Probability. By the time they flip it again, heads or tails, we lose another 250. By the time we flip it 10 times, it will get to one guy. It will finally get to 2 people, and 1 person will have heads or tails. So if I call heads again, it will be 1 person. And that person will think he's special. That is how miracles work. 1,000 people showed up. 1 person got the miracle. That person feels special. Now, if you interview every single person, all the 1,000 of them that lost, they will all tell you they were feeling special. So religion plays on the emotion that you are special. That's why you hear things like, this year is your year. You are the greatest. You are this. You are that. That is how religion works. It makes you feel special. It makes you sit down in Nigeria and we wonder, we have 10 churches on every street and we can't eat. And then you go to Canada where they don't worship God, and everybody's okay. You go to Alaska where cold wants to buy them, and government is giving citizens money every month. But Nigeria, where we have good weather, people are dying of hunger. Please, Tolu Oniki, how many church do you people have in Alaska? How many Pentecostal church? How many people do you have casting and binding? How many fire altars do you have in Alaska? Alaska is not meant to do well. Alaska is the extreme of the world. Let me tell you how bad Alaska is. Russia gave it up and gave America. Yet they are doing well. Yet children are getting educated. They have world standard hospitals. They have good health care. Their security system works. Alaska is not a place that is meant to work. They are cold half the year. Yet it works. Remember my logic. 1,000 people spun the coin. After 10 spins, it got to one person, and that person thinks he's great. That person now climbs the stage to give the testimony. You are 1 in 1,000, and what happened to you was pure luck. For all you know, you were not even sick in the first place. I'll tell you a story. One of my friends who's a doctor, you know, even in America, doctors are quick to prescribe, what is it called? Chemotherapy. So this girl had a growth in her throat. They said it was cancer, and they bombarded her with radio and chemo. And at the end of the day, it wasn't cancer. And they had messed her whole throat up. She couldn't touch, she can't talk, she can't eat again. Messed up. So it was one of my friends who's a plastic surgeon that was correcting the case here in Nigeria. And the guy said something. He said, do you know how many people they've told have cancer and they don't have cancer? Do you know how many people they've told have HIV and they don't have HIV? Do you know how many people they've told are SS but are not SS? I'll tell you my family member story. My family member called me up from Port Harcourt. We had treated the person for cancer. Then the cancer was in remission. We had done I personally took the person to the hospital every day of the week for radiotherapy and chemotherapy for 3 months in Lut. I will get into my car and drive all the way down to Lut 5 times a week or 4 times a week to get radiotherapy for 3 months. So after like 2 years, the person called us back and said, the cancer is back. And they wanted to start chemo immediately, aggressive chemo. I just asked the person, I said, come. They said they did an MRI. I said, no, you did not do a PET scan and you did not do a biopsy. The only thing that can assure, if they see a growth, I don't believe any, because they've treated you for cancer before, does not mean that you have a growth in your body is automatically cancer. Let them run PET scan. And they don't have PET scan in Port Harcourt. Okay, come to Lagos. The person was like, no. That time, PET scan was about $3,000. No. Let them just do the chemo. I was like, no. Come and let us test you properly. On an MRI, they use tell us it. So I said, the only 2 things I'll believe for a cancer diagnosis is a PET scan or a biopsy. Any other thing is guesswork. So they brought the person to Lagos. We went to do an MRI. We went to do a PET CT. It came out clean. Came out clean. No cancer. They were about to start treatment for the person in Port Harcourt. That person still believes that it was God that removed the cancer. When I hear it, I get upset. I'm like, I was the one that told you to come to Lagos. Let us check you properly. There was no cancer. God did not remove the cancer between Port Harcourt and Lagos. But you see, that's how religion works. Something where you know they're sure of. Somebody was asking me, he was like, Daddy Freeze, you said you don't believe in that God created the world. I said, I never said I don't believe God created the world. But what's your argument? The guy said, if you don't believe who created the world, who created the world? I said, I don't know. Scientists will say it's a big bang. Religious people will say it's God that created the world. So the guy was like, so I can tell you God created the world. I said, okay, prove it. The book of Genesis said, no. Genesis is the claim. That's not the proof. Prove that God created the world. Then when he saw that he was stuck, you know what he said back to me? He said, okay, you to prove that God did not create the world. These are the arguments you bring forward. I tell you to prove something, and then you tell me that I should prove that it isn't that. I personally believe that God created the world, but that's my belief. It's not that I have proof for it. It's a belief. And if any day I see proof that it wasn't God that created the world, it was something else, I will follow that thing. That's my belief. It's my faith. But I'm careful not to mix my faith with knowledge. And I'm careful not to have belief perseverance in the face of knowledge. If tomorrow it can be proven beyond reasonable doubt that two stars collided and the world was formed, I'm going to go with that. Because, and listen to me very well, because the biggest problem we have is not letting go of our beliefs when they've been debunked. And that religious mentality, that mirror, you look around you in Nigeria, 10 churches on every street, preaching prosperity. You can't find the prosperity. They say they are healing. There are more sick people in Nigeria than there are anywhere else in the world. But yet we can heal. Work with me. You have a country where people believe they are healed when they are sick. You have a country where people believe they are wealthy when they are poor. You have a country where people are wicked but they believe they are Christians. They will walk around the neighborhood ringing bell for you to come and pray, but carrying a bitter heart that knows no forgiveness in their chest. We have a country that is less moral than those countries that worship demons and idols and devils and don't believe in any God. And I preached this last week. I said, if you think atheism is an insult to God, you need to try religion. Atheism says one thing: God does not exist. Religion says God is a fool, God is a thief, God is unfair, God is cruel, God does not like some certain type of people, God favors those who do not deserve to be favored. Religion insults God. Atheism says there's no God. Which do you think is worse? Because when you look around you, the people who are in my life, the most wicked people I've ever met are religious people. The people that have done me the worst dirty are religious people. And why am I saying this? Because these same people who live in poverty but think they are rich or blessed, who live in sickness and give testimony to God's blessing, are the same people you need to think about national issues, and you expect them to be able to think a sentence completely. And this bothers me. This bothers me. I will not lie. This bothers me. And the worst thing is, because you have religious mentality, you're needing a Moses. That's my biggest problem with religion. Religion always needs a Moses. Religion always needs a Christ. Religion always needs a Joshua. Religion always needs a savior. And that is the problem we have in Nigeria. Religion needs a savior. Somebody just sent me some stars. Adeshina Giwa, God bless you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Adeshina Giwa. If you're watching on TikTok, pop my money gone. So when you come to my live and you say, Daddy Freeze, come and fight for Nigeria, I have a problem with it. Because the people you are fighting for don't think. How do you fight for a people who you are fighting for, but we fight you? You see, Nigerians want me to come and fight Tinubu. Tinubu is not the problem. Tinubu has never been the problem. Someone said needing a savior, isn't that a good thing? It's a terrible thing. Countries that work got up and fixed their problem. They didn't have saviors. You can't have that savior mentality. Let me bring Chichi Obama here. Chichi, baby, how are you doing?
I'm fine, sir. I'm so sad. It's so disheartening, to be honest.
Tell me why.
I don't know. It just looks like, it's a problem that will never have a solution. Don't you think so? Do you think there will ever be a solution to this? I don't know.
The solution to Nigeria, The solution to Nigeria is getting Nigerians to be able to think. The solution to Nigeria is getting Nigerians to be able to ask the important questions.
Yeah. See that one, the one today not posted. The Jigawa, is it Jigawa state government?
Let me bring John. Let me just. I'm a bit pissed, so let me just allow. Let me just allow. I know me and John don't agree, but at least let me allow him to talk because I don't vex. John, how you know we can't get data today? No. This one cannot work.
John, come on now.
Hey, I'm in an extremely bad mood, but
I can tell you're pissed because you keep.
Yes, I can hear you, brother. Your network is very bad, though. You did America now.
Which America don't get network? America. Which this thing they use? They use quack internet. Not T-Mobile. Really? T-Mobile. Oh. T-Mobile they mess up sometimes, sha. Now, this is what we want to talk about Nigeria today.
Just talk, because if you know me, my view. I just wanted to talk a bit about Nigeria. Then we go and talk about other things. And I wanted to talk about this Senator Natasha. So you know what? Let's start with Senator Natasha. What are your thoughts?
Natasha, now John, kind of babe now. So
I feel that Natasha is not going about it the right way. Because all she has is her word against another man's word, and it's not gonna fly anyway. If she has documented evidence, then she should present it.
Present it.
She cannot just come out and say that he told me that my waist is this. He has not done anything.
No.
But you know, in a civilized country or in a civilized climate, when you make certain statements, I know we all do it in Nigeria. We all do it in Nigeria, but
John, they say you never smoke.
but we need to know it's wrong. We need to know it's wrong.
That phrase is not wrong.
Dear, it's not wrong.
Say I asked you whether make una, you say no. It's not wrong. When it comes from even in the civilized societies, after
you have to have some evidence.
After you have said no and I become persistent. After you have said no. But say I ask, you say no, it's not wrong.
I don't think she has enough evidence. That's why she's going.
She doesn't have enough evidence. That's why she's running.
I doubt it. Yeah.
And they're using it against her.
Yeah.
What I expected her to do is the first time he asked, okay, the next time she can go and buy all these glasses that can video record you properly, and have him in 3D in high place where he's begging her for it. Then he will have the balls. But just running to the video emotions, you have it one
she not trying at all.
She didn't go about.
For her level of intelligence, I'm disappointed, to be honest.
You should have waited and got. If nobody saying that it's a good thing, but you should have waited to get enough evidence. Right now, that is what they are using against her. That is exactly what they're using against her. And but if you look at it critically, the way they are now going about it tells you that they are guilty, but there is no evidence to prove that they are guilty. Trying to instigate her senatorial district to do a recall on her by giving them stipends means that they are guilty about it. But that is just what you think. It's not what is true. That's just what you think. It's not what is true. So if she had waited to get concrete
evidence, she acted too fast. Impossible.
Tell her hotel where you go meet you for.
Yes, she acted too fast. If we not pin her for wall, and she would have been able to do that. Oh, the guy is very randy. We all know that.
But the problem is that my problem with you women is that the ones where they benefit from have never come out to talk now. They don't come out to talk. Because there's no way you tell me that there are no. We know all this. We know what happens in the Nigerian civil service in its entirety. We know what happens in the Nigerian civil service in its entirety. When they will be enjoying it, they will not talk. It's when it goes against them that they will talk. Why did she not report it the day she did it? Now, why did she not report it that day? Why did she wait till the day they removed her from where she's supposed to be? That's why I'm complaining. So there are lots of things against her. There are lots of things against her. And is it right? It's not good. It's not right. In fact, me, who I blame in all these things, now her husband self. Because they don't born you well. You won't show me house. You hold my wife and I could not you. If you like the president of Nigeria, I could not you one back. They don't born you well. They say, me and you, come. You won't show us house. Now my wife, why don't hold my hand? Wait till my hand, I get leprosy. Hold my own hand now. Why not my wife hand? For my front, you hold my wife hand. No, that's the husband me I blame. Because normally, if you do them, I just feel I don't know if the Senate president did it too, but if at all he did it, he don't hold the hand to say the husband don't talk anything and say, okay, this one now.
I walk over.
So now, John, I want us to talk about a few things. First of all, I want to come back to Natasha. I never vexed the way I vexed today, man. One foolish guy just vexed me, so.
But you had the plan now, right? I had the plan is to recall her and give it to Baga.
Haya Bello.
So they're now using her enemies against her.
Allegedly. You see, I want us to talk about this SH, which is Benson harassment, but I'm going to call it SH.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? I'm going to call it SH for the code. I'm going to call it SH. Do you realize, and I want John to talk, there's a way I play with women that in the civilized world would be considered harassment. I'm sure we all do it. Right from, there are conversations we have in Nigeria that are not right. Now I'm torn in between two things, and I'm glad I have a woman here and I have a guy here. Let's first of all discuss it. There are ways that I can tap Chichi Obama if she lived in Nigeria and if we worked in Nigeria. There are things that we say, oh yeah, come and sit on my lap. We all did it. Do you understand? This your waist is not bad looking. No. These are comments I have made before in the past to colleagues. Let me ask you the first question. Is it, according to the Nigerian standard, is it harassment? Let's start. Open conversation. You can have any view you want. Let's just talk.
No, it's not. The Nigerian standard is not.
John, what do you think?
What I think is that in the international standard, it's not.
International standard, it is. John, what are you saying?
Let me land. In the international standard, it's not. It becomes when it's repetitive after a no has been issued. I've done courses on SH. I've done series of courses on SH. It's not wrong if you tell your colleague, can we go out for dinner? But it is wrong when she now tells you, no, we cannot go out for dinner. And you insist or cajole her. She has given you a no. There's nothing wrong with seeking someone's consent for something. What becomes wrong is when it becomes forceful. If I come and tell you that your dress is fine, and you tell me, please don't make utterances about my physical look anymore. You have set a boundary. You have set a boundary. You've built a wall. Now, if I repeat it, it becomes a problem. If I repeat it, it becomes a problem. Because how will I know that you don't want someone to actually tell you that your dress is fine because nobody has told you that your dress is fine?
So, John, I have a question for you. Are you talking about like in general places or at work?
Everywhere.
Okay. If you're talking about at work, it's a whole different story. You know that, right?
Okay, for example, teacher of work, you come to work with a waist bead. And when you were leaving the house, nobody actually told you your waist bead is nice. And you're wondering, is it that this thing is not nice? And it's your colleague that tells you, oh, your waist bead is nice. Now, if you find it provocative, you tell your colleague, please, do not make any comment about my physical appearance. You have set a boundary. You have set a boundary. That colleague will never repeat. That colleague will never repeat it again. But when he repeats it, then it becomes harassment. What is harassment?
At workplace, you're not even supposed to use such words.
First and foremost, can we define the meaning, dictionary definition of harassment? That if I call you on the phone and you don't pick, did I harass you?
No.
But if I call you 20 times and you don't pick, I'm harassing you.
That one don't turn harassment.
Harassing you. You need to define English words for
Now. I want us to, sorry, John, I want us to have a conversation here. Abroad women will say it is. And this brings me to a very important conversation. What do we measure our morality by? Sorry, hold on, John. I need to land. When you live in America or the UK or the US for a long time, you tend to believe that that is how the rest of the world is. And their standards are global standards. The American media does not dictate the standards in China. That is why they don't allow American media into their countries. Because they don't want people to look at, they have their own craziness. I said this the other day. You go to France, John, you can, let me see the marriage age in France. Legal marriage age is 18. Let's look at age of consent. Age of consent. The minimum age of consent in France is 15. The counting of S acts with a minor under the age of 15 for an adult is punishable by 7 years. Which means, hold on. Which means in France, you can sleep with a 16-year-old and it is not a problem.
Yeah.
According to what we are reading, if this is right. So, but that same thing, if you do it in America, you will go to jail. So my question now is France the one that is right, or America is the one that is right?
Before I answer that question,
Yes.
look at what this Olateni Otu wrote. She's a female, and she said she's a lawyer abroad. I'm abroad and I'm a lawyer. First attempt is not harassment, but when you ask the person to stop or it persists, then it becomes harassment. The problem with Nigerians is that Nigerians don't know how to.
Somebody said talk about bad governance. I don't rapture and permanent blocking. You see, John, I want us to have some certain conversations, because if we run to, there are many things that we will take to foreign media and we will look bad. Do you understand? But I'm not saying it is right. But like John established, if you say it once, this your beat, this your waist, Omo, you're looking good, oh. There are things that I can say to Samaria, for instance, because I believe Samaria is my person. There are things that Samaria has come to my life before and she's dressing up on the live. Not completely, but she go there. We're going to say, Samaria, you're looking very hot today. Oh. You understand? If we tried it abroad, we will get into trouble. So my problem is, this thing that was it tried abroad or in Nigeria? I'm not saying I'm supporting Natasha or Akpabio. I just want, there are some conversations that Nigerians find hard to have.
So that the phrase, there's a reason why they tell in every legal system, the first thing you mention is jurisdiction.
Okay.
Does this court have jurisdiction to try this case? Is it within the court's jurisdiction? That's the first technicality every lawyer will present in court. So what that means is that what is a crime in Nigeria might not be a crime in Togo, might not be a crime in
But now, let me now ask you a question. That thing that Natasha did, is it a crime in Nigeria? That thing that Natasha, is it a crime in Nigeria?
What she's saying that was
done, is it a crime in Nigeria?
It's not captured under the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. What is captured under the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is assault and harassment. And harassment and assault are defined in clear English terms. Assault, when I try to forcefully impose bodily harm on you or mental harm on you. Harassment, when I continuously do what you do not want, then I'm harassing you. It's English. Some people have tried it and they realize that the person did it. Okay, for example, Chichi Obama is my colleague. And I tell her, Chichi Obama, your waist is fine. Say, now wow, this thing why don't they show you since we never agree talk since thank God say you don't talk up today. You don't know whether the plan the guy sees. So will you call that harassment because he just said it? It becomes harassment when you now say, do you realize I'm a married woman? You cannot say that about my waist. And tomorrow he comes and do it like harassment. So let's not...
Now. I want us to have, because you see, one of the problems we have in Nigeria is we have conversations that are, how do I put it? We just the way we cherry pick Bible, that's the same way we cherry pick constitutions all over the world. I was having a conversation the other day about RAPE. You know what RAPE is? Do you know, according to the Nigerian constitution, a husband cannot RAPE his own wife?
Yes, because as soon as you sign that marriage register, you've waived your conjugal rights.
And in another 37 countries, including Singapore, a husband cannot RAPE his wife legally. You can't charge. Now, for instance, you can charge assault, you can charge battery, you can charge emotional this, but you cannot charge him to court for RAPE. Now, imagine Femi here is married to Chichi Obama. Last night, Femi said, Chichi Obama, open the garage. Chichi Obama said, no, 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 I'm not in the mood. Femi went ahead to do what he did. Femi lives in. Femi, what part of Nigeria do you live in?
Ilorin.
In Ilorin. So Femi went ahead and had his way with his legally married wife in Ilorin. Is it RAPE?
No, it's not, because as long as they are married legally, that marriage registry waives your conjugal rights.
Okay. So my question is, the people that we say, because everybody living in the UK, everybody living in Canada, everybody living in the US will say it is RAPE. You can see Tolu Honiki here is saying it is. How is it when the constitution of where you are domained does not recognize it as it?
Daddy Freeze, let's go further. Let's go further with the constitution. The Nigerian constitution defines RAP as forceful penetration. In clear English terms, what that means is that a woman cannot RAP a man as per our constitution.
Thank you. I am glad that you brought it to another side now. So let me now swing it.
Because it was clearly defined in the constitution that it's forceful penetration. And you know, Nigeria has the best laws when it comes to RAP. Nigeria has the best, most unique and standing law when it comes to RAP. Do you know why? Because it insists that for a person to be convicted for RAP, you must prove that there was forceful penetration.
Now we have Wally here. Chichi, please leave. Wally is a lawyer. Or do I have a lawyer based in Nigeria? I want us to have, because you see, why am I having this conversation is, it is not about what is right in America or what is right in the UK or what is right in Canada. This is Nigeria. Is it right in Nigeria? Does not mean that the constitution cannot be amended tomorrow. There was a time the age of consent, marriage age in Nigeria was 11. In the 90s, it was 11. So you could legally marry a 12-year-old in Nigeria and you will not get into trouble with the government. It was legal. And it is legal in so many other countries in the world. Now, when you live in those countries, are you going to judge this with America?
So, Daddy Freeze, what is not covered in our constitution is not a crime in our constitution.
Somebody say it's not. No, I need, you see, in the criminal code in Nigeria, for instance, because women, as in, you see, this is one of the things why conversations like this annoy me. People come home with sentiment. Nobody is quoting according to section 5 of section 8. Everybody just saying it is wrong. Why? It is wrong because in America it is wrong. We are not in America.
Daddy Freeze, let me blow your mind. They are saying, they're not saying that it's wrong because in America it is wrong. They're saying it is wrong because they want to have a ground to accuse any man of whatsoever, any man that...
Okay, Tolu Honiki has said only a lawyer can clarify the legality of it. So I need a lawyer.
Daddy Freeze.
I've asked Wale to join. Wale has not joined.
I totally disagree with that statement.
What's that?
The Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria was written in plain English words. I don't need to be a lawyer to read English. Daddy Freeze, let me tell you something. You know, if you notice the trend of our women these days, women want to have men by the balls. And that is why they try to enforce this thing about RAPE. And that's what they're trying to do is, so that it will just be their word and it's enough. So that their word will be enough. That is why a woman can wake up 20 years later and say that you, Daddy Freeze, that you want to become president at the age of 80, tried to RAP 20 years ago. 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 And in the West, it will stand. And do you know that in the UK, there was a group of women that started the movement. They were sponsoring bills to include the withdrawal of consent after the act. What that means is that Neka will come and meet me now. We'll have consensual S. After it, Neka will go home, I will go home. 2 days later, Neka will call me and tell me that she has withdrawn that consent she gave 2 days ago. That I RAP'd her. So these are the kind of movements that they are sponsoring because they want men to be puppets under their control. Because if you can accuse a man of something like of this magnitude that could send him to jail, then he will always succumb to whatever you want to. For example, Burna Boy and this girl's case. If this was in the West, the girl will come out and say that Burna Boy and repeat her.
Yeah.
And Burna Boy until he gives her that time. So that is why they are always telling you that. And I'm sorry, women. I'm very sorry to disappoint you. The Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria defines it clearly that for it to hold in court.
Now, because women are going to keep getting angry. Hold on, because women are going to keep getting upset. I want us to use another example. But I'm still trying to get a lawyer to join us. Just for, I know you, John, you said we don't need a lawyer to clarify this. But I just want to get the legal perspective on this. They don't seize my light. Anyway, they'll bring it back now. So, so let us have legal clarity, and I need a lawyer that I trust and that is practicing in Nigeria. You understand? Belinda is a lawyer that I know that is practicing in Nigeria. But she's not picking and she's not available. I don't need a lawyer that used to practice in Nigeria 15 years ago and is now in Canada. No. I want a proper... A proper Nigerian lawyer, not those lawyers that sell human hair, but they studied law in the university.
Femi, can you read it up? Because the Constitution is everywhere.
I want just somebody who is a lawyer or a judge or a Nigerian judge.
Daddy Freeze, when we say somebody who is a lawyer, I feel these things are the meaning to educated people, because a degree is awarded in character and learning encompasses everything. I am an engineer does not mean that I am just an electrical engineer. It means that I should be able to research on legal terms, medical terms, and everything. When people say call someone who is a lawyer, it tells me the state of mind of that person calling for a lawyer. Yeah. It tells me the state of mind of that person calling for a lawyer. The Constitution is in front of I think Femi. The Constitution is in front of Femi. You can read it.
Yeah. I think
okay, welcome back.
I think I understand why DF could actually be requesting for the service of a lawyer, and because sometimes when you practice a lot, some things just occur to you naturally. However, we also want to agree with John that, especially whenever you are dealing with something called public commentary, you are expected to be vast in thinking, and there is a level to the knowledge you should be able to even talk about. And one thing, ordinarily, if we live in a world of, of proper education, even our first Bible in this country should be the Constitution. Is after you know the Constitution, you should start reading the Bible, then you should now start reading the Quran, then you now start reading your academic documents. But unfortunately, many Nigerians do not actually do that, and at the same time, we cannot really put a place. We cannot underestimate the place of a practitioner, but we also have to know that all practitioners, even when they come here, they will also interpret something
differently.
Yeah. So, and that is why a practitioner may be more needed than any other.
You know, one thing I like is, see, one of the most difficult people I have to relate with when it comes to women matters is Tolu. So if I can work with Tolu today, then I believe I can communicate with all women. That is why. So if Tolu says she needs a lawyer, the sad thing is I can't get in touch with. I didn't believe I'll need a lawyer. Continue what you're saying.
Okay.
I'm trying to.
So, and on this matter is actually a sensitive one. But there is no way we discuss this without having our Bible. And that was the Bible I always use against that APC jobber, Bongoli. Now, there are two major parts of the Constitution that really clear this and define the matter to us very well. And that is actually Section 34, subsection 1 of Nigeria Constitution, which give rights to dignity of the human person. And what it says that every individual is entitled to respect for the dignity.
How can you apologize? Sorry, apologize to Tolu. Someone said, DF, stop taking Tolu serious. She's not mentally stable. My brother, I need you to apologize to her. We are not going down that route today. Apologize. You can't say that. I don't see her as mentally unstable. And I've never seen her as mentally unstable. So please render an apology for that. Thank you very much. Continue.
So our constitution is very clear regarding what an harassment is, and it is every individual is entitled to respect for dignity of his person, and no individual objected to degrading treatment. So if Akpabio has actually touched her inappropriately and has at the same time pressured her, of course, is unconstitutional.
Now. Here is a problem I have with that narrative. Akpabio touched you in 2002. And then you and Akpabio have another problem in 2009. And then you bring that up. Here is what a lawyer said to me. Said, when Akpabio did it then, did she register a petition?
A petition.
That did she go and did she make a formal complaint to the Senate that I personally do not like the way the Senate president is talking to me?
Yeah.
That refers. You know, even in the law, even in the eyes of the law, in the Nigerian constitution, in the eyes of the law, there are certain cases that there are certain matters that will be brought to the court, and they will tell you that this matter is status bad.
Yes, but this particular one is not status bad, but it is just a bit.
It's not status bad. The reason why there is status bad, the status bad matter is because of this thing you said. If you did not report it then there is a great chance that it did not either happen. Because you cannot for example, you cannot come and shoot my daughter, for example. Maybe, okay, my daughter. And I'll wait 6 months later to go and report it to the police. If you really felt it as it being offensive, you report it immediately.
But John, one thing there is that there are some cases like this HRM we are talking about. According to the constitution, there is no limit to when you can bring it up. So far, you have credible evidence. It is if you.
What's HRM?
The harassment. I don't want us to use the word because they always.
Harassment. HRM. No, it can be status bad.
HRM.
Okay, I'm bringing Wally.
Maybe.
I'm bringing Wally, but my problem with Wally is he's not a lawyer in Nigeria now. So I need a lawyer that is practicing in Nigeria now.
Hi, Daddy Freeze.
Hi, Wally. We will manage you until we get a lawyer practicing in Nigeria.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Am I not practicing in Nigeria? Well, I mean, because I'm on the highway. let me quickly chip in, then I'll be, watching. Well, the Nigerian law says a man cannot commit RAP against his wife. That's the law. Now, generally under section 358 to 360 of the Criminal Code.
Tolu, sorry, I wish Tolu, are you here? Uncle Wale, can you say that again?
The Nigerian law says a man cannot be prosecuted for having his way with his wife, whether forcefully or however. So he cannot be held liable for committing rape against his wife.
RAP, brother.
Committing RAP against his wife. But generally, under the provision of 358 to 360 of the Criminal Code, having carnal knowledge of somebody without their consent or forcefully is generally going to be, prosecuted. And understand. And these laws are divided into two. We have the penal codes and the criminal codes. The penal to the northern side, the criminal to the southern part. And there's something called locus criminis. In case you were talking about if somebody did it in a lorry, long as you are within the, sovereign delimitation of the Nigeria as a state, and that's your legal wife, no, you cannot be prosecuted for RAP. No, that's the law. You cannot. If you did it elsewhere, and you'll be, locus criminis means where the crime, took place. That law applies in that area.
Locus from the word location. I did a bit of Latin for scripture.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what we are trying to say now is, let us not use a broad eye to judge Nigerian matter. Let me give you an example. Abroad, if you divorce a man, you get half of his money. In Nigeria, you'll be lucky to walk away with the car that he bought for you.
Even with the clothes, the bag that he bought for you.
One of my guys, you know the guy, tall, fair guy, he divorced one of his wives. Younger than me, or young guy. The cloth where she wear for body, now she wear come out in house. She not carry her car, she not carry her other clothes, she not carry anything come out in house. Now, if we were to interpret it, many men will say good, while women abroad will say, that's not good. While the abroad one, men will say, but women abroad will say good. So you need to understand that in every crime, some people are favored by the law, some aren't. In America, for instance, you'll be amazed that you pay, Samaria, for instance, probably pays more percentage to her relative income tax compared to Elon Musk. Elon Musk is the highest taxpayer in America, but he only paid 11 billion. Meanwhile, Elon Musk made 100 million. So that means he's paying 11% at that level. Meanwhile, you as a nurse or as a doctor or as a lawyer are probably paying 45%. I don't know if I'm making sense to you. So sometimes
can I comment on the divorce thing you mentioned as an example, so to clarify certain things there?
Okay, please go ahead.
In Nigeria, under the Matrimonial Causes Act, there is still provision for alimony, child custody, and there's something we call matrimonial properties and all those things, especially the marriage domicile. Now, when people go to the courts, what we call prayers, like things you're asking
for, appealing for,
as relief. If the lawyers are not very vigilant, they will just come to ask for the solution and not factoring into it after the actual dissolution is granted. You must pray and ask for things. So most times it looks like that women walk away or they don't get nothing in Nigeria. And also you mentioned that one of his wives, if this is a real-time situation, it means that woman was probably not married under the act. And you cannot ask for a dissolution of a marriage contracted under the customary, traditions in a law court. It has to be only a marriage contracted under the law.
Okay. Thank you very much, my brother. So what we were trying to get to, sorry guys, let's home back home. Let's come back home. So what we were trying to say is, because I'm watching this on German TV, I'm watching this on British TV, I'm watching this on American TV, and I'm wondering, this particular narrative, and I'm trying to choose my words carefully, this particular narrative, can we bring some clarity to it? Can we understand it? Because now that Nigeria is going global, that means all the things I said to Samaria in the past, tomorrow if he say I want to be Senate president, make Samaria come say, Daddy Freeze, you did this, you said this, you said this, you said this.
Which is not right.
So that is like I said in the past. The reason why women are clamoring for this is because they want to have dominance over men. I will say it anywhere, and I'll say it over and over again.
I don't quite agree with you. I think it was born, hold on, let me explain and then you can go on. I think it was born out of oppression, them fighting oppression, and then becoming oppressors. You know, people who fight oppression often become oppressors without knowing.
Daddy Freeze. The creed of knighthood is that you cannot fight oppression by being an oppressor.
You know, John, I think
you cannot fight oppression by being an oppressor. If you fight oppression by being an oppressor, that means you were in a circumstance you had opted to be an oppressor.
You know, John, I think the last time that the Freeze brought this topic up, one thing I understand from the perspective of women is that some ladies has actually been oppressed in this nature of. So whenever they had people fighting for this thing, they just want to associate because some of them couldn't have the privilege of speaking out. And we may not really say that they want to really suppress men sometimes. Their experience sometimes can even dictate their action or inaction. But if we are going to even look at this from a kind of societal angle, yes, Natasha is actually trying to bring in the legal perspective to the matter so that she can win the case. And I wouldn't want to say she's wrong. She knows what she's saying. Just that if we look at it from the Evidence Act, that route, I'm not sure that Natasha will actually win that case at the law court because the evidence law, you know, the Evidence Act is very robust. And by the time she will keep presenting those evidence they will just realize that it is nothing. But
let's not preempt her. She might have. Let's not preempt.
You know what?
Let's not preempt her. She might have, and she's not willing to put it out yet.
Let me just put it in a proper manner. The chances are that she may win if she has solid evidence, and chances are that she may not win if the evidence are not strong. But beyond that, our politicians need to learn something. Just like the Fubara case we are saying, some instances can easily be avoided. Because I think why DF created this matter is we examining why do they need to recall her or not. If Natasha actually have that particular allegation, yes, she's right to do that whatsoever. But sometimes you need to understand the law of power. Can I crush my enemy totally if I were to go in the legal perspective? If you feel you cannot actually crush your enemy totally, a simple apology could have even solved the seat arrangement thing. But the Freeze was now asking about the HRS of a thing. DF was asking about the HRS of a thing. We can now look at it from cultural angle. In Nigeria, what you can consider HRS from Nigerian perspective, you will just realize that at the end of the day, when you bring it up, you will just end up fooling yourself. Our culturally in Nigeria, all those things Natasha is saying, trust me, average man in the Senate can never get support of an average man in the Senate because traditionally and culturally, some of those compliments she's making a case, it is not really a case. in the society. In fact, if Natasha will still go and meet a lawyer, she will go and meet, and at the end of it, we just see that it's just trivial and not something that is still
Femi,
all right.
Femi, do you know where I disagree with you?
Yeah.
When you said that our senators have to learn, have to change. No. Our women have to change. Our women have to change. The reason why our senators are like this is that there are those girls in Lekki Phase 1 that they do it to, and they permit it. When women are fighting these men are running, these men are running. Have you forgotten that it takes a randy woman to groom a randy man? How many of them in Lekki Phase 1 have businesses sponsored by taxpayers' money by corrupt politicians? Why are they not against it? When it favors them, no, it's fine. When it doesn't favor them, no, it's wrong. No. Our women need to have values, for crying out loud. Our women need to have values. I know three very big businesses sponsored by people's constituency projects.
Yeah, of
the
course.
money where they
That one
produce good roads and healthcare centers for now. Then they use start businesses, buy houses, pay house rent, buy Lamborghinis for girls. Now, then it's not a problem because they are the receiving end. Because they are the receiving end, then it's not a problem. They tell you small girl, big God. But during COVID, all the big gods went away.
But you know another problem there? Sometimes that boundary is not easy to keep it when you are too close to someone. Natasha that is coming out.
Now, I need to have a woman here. If we are talking about women, it's unfair that we don't have a single woman here.
Okay, maybe I will have to say.
No, Wally, do you have anything to say? Because we are more into politics, and this one, Labour Party up, PDP down.
If it's on,
I'm not yet sure.
if it's on,
John, where are you going?
I am P2P. I'm not Labour Party.
if it's on this Natasha Akpoti and the Senate.
So if P2B goes to SDP, which is what we are hearing.
If P2B goes to Olumba, I'll follow him.
If P2B goes to PDP, I mean APC, Nko?
If P2B goes to APC, I'll follow him.
You see now.
It's not about the party. It's about the individual who is going to create that change.
Now, sorry, sir. Sorry, please, Mr. Wale, you will speak. I just want to react to this. That is, you see, when we say obedient movement does not have structure, you can now see where we are coming from. When we say they don't have structure, this is an example that they don't have structure.
We don't have structure.
No, it's just like saying, Mr. Just telling him that he will tell you, oh, even if I am doing anything where I am, I will still practice law.
So that's what I'm saying. We don't have structure. And the structure you people have is what you people are using to send a serving governor into suspension because of structure. Is what you people are using to impoverish the nation because of structure. Now, structure is when, whether he's right or bad, since it's APC, it's fine. Since it's PDP, it's fine. No. We don't have structure because we believe, even if you like, be the chairman of Labour Party. If you are bad, you're a bad person.
Let's get. Oh yeah.
Okay, let me just pass my own comment.
Let's not go to politics here, please.
All right, before we pass any more comments, can you people come to TikTok and pop my money gun? That's right. Not a single money gun popped. I'm not reading any comment on YouTube because for me to read your comment on YouTube, I need to see super chats, super stickers, and super likes. So, somebody bought my stars on Facebook. Go to Facebook, search for Daddy Freeze, DADDYFREEZE. Click on today's video, bottom left-hand corner. You see how to buy my stars, and I'll give you a very special shout out. So, lawyer, please.
On Natasha Akpoti and the Senate President.
Yeah.
If we have a duly constituted assembly, if any allegation of that nature is raised, a committee should be set up that will look into our claims And while that is going on, she cannot be suspended as they did. But there's a thing, there's a big air in the Nigerian community political space about respect and that you cannot talk to me like that. And like Femi Ali said, most of those things, because they've done it over and over, it barely looks like anything to them. Then they all agreed and suspended her. And I mean, of course, all the senators that, appended their signature to all that came out. But look, I'm not a pro-gender war kind of guy when it comes to matters of, sentiment and fact. This lady, in her right, can follow up harassment. However, whether sexually, whether, indecent, she can follow it because she's a human and she's protected under the law, not even a senator. Now, on the flip side, Senate President can use his office, if he wants to be fair, to say, look, I've been alleged of this, set up somebody who is not even involved. But now, he's violating the common rule of nemo judes in casa sua. You cannot be a judge in your own course. And again, politically, they are quickly, gone back to the base to see how they can get the lady ousted is what is in play right now. That's, completely messy and dirty on their part. I don't think it should be like, if she says, it's okay for you to allege, anybody can, bring an allegation against anyone. But it's also, exactly. And at the same time, it is okay for you to submit as a leader to say, okay, I'm open to being investigated and I need you to look into this thoroughly. Now, if it fails, you can bring an action, a civil action against her for defamation or however kind you want to bring. But you are not even giving her a chance to have a fair hearing. Hence all this movement around the world trying to talk to this and that. Plus, you know that Nigeria has a lot of good laws in place. Some are old, but these laws are not even followed for one single day. They violate every law that is in that country, especially by the lawmakers and the people that are supposed to be in charge of, the custodians of the law.
Mr. Wally, I agree with you 100% on what you've said. But it's just like you going to DRC and you want to tell them about the law, or going to a war-torn zone and you want to tell them about the law. We understand the Nigerian judiciary has its own peculiarities. You cannot say that you will ever get fair hearing from a judiciary that the structure Wally just defined are building mansions for every judge of the Supreme Court and the appeal courts. The structure is building houses for them, and you want to get fair hearing for them. Now, if you understand the peculiarities of that judiciary, then you should come with damning evidence. Very, very damning evidence. Evidence that if you put out there, everybody will just say, oh, guy, try.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that what they're doing is right, but we need to understand these peculiarities. Bro, we have three arms of government in Nigeria. Tinubu, Wike, and Akpoti. If you don't want to believe that,
I think it's more of Wike in judiciary. His wife is a judge in the court of appeal.
Tinubu,
I agree with you, though.
And Akpoti are the three arms of government we have. They are the judiciary, the legislative arm of government, and the executive arm of government. So if you understand that peculiarities, then you need to do something to beat them to their game.
On this note, John, for you to present a damning evidence, a very overwhelming one that nobody can, even dispute, you at least will be given a fair hearing to present it.
Right? Let me give you an example. Remember Davido's video when he was on his knees begging? That is the damning evidence. That is the damning evidence. If she had that evidence of Oga, when he sit down when you down with the big belly, Natasha, let me just do small.
I beg go make una no talk about Davido. Davido na my brother. I beg go. That thing na AI. I beg. That thing na AI. I swear na AI. Make una just leave am. Na AI. I've done my findings and I can tell you it is AI. Let's leave it. No, no
You
talk,
guys
Davido.
talked about he did it some years. You said 2002 and 9 as an example. DF, crimes do not expire. Let me just say in that time, they cannot be statute barred.
Exactly.
So no, even if person live 100 years, commit one crime from day one of his life, if they catch him to prosecute him the last day of it,
what can be status bar? Civil matters, right? Civil matters, right?
Misdemeanors can be statute barred, and that will generally be termed as violations. That anything below the sentencing of 6 months, which are not classified as felony under the Nigerian law, can be regarded as, misdemeanor, and they can be statute barred. They can expire based on the prescription of the law. Otherwise, crimes are generally not statute barred.
So, and that's very simple. So, and our lawyer has actually educated us comfortably regarding this matter.
Okay, let me bring a lady. I need to have a lady here. So somebody has to go. We can't be...
Daddy, please let me ask Femi a question, please. Femi.
Okay, somebody press X.
Femi, so Wally, please, before you leave, please.
Okay.
Crimes cannot be status barred.
Yes.
But a crime like RAPE cannot be proven after a while. This is why I said so. The Nigerian Constitution insists that for you to convict someone of RAPE, you must have proof of forceful penetration, and there must be a tie of sample of hair or semen to tie the DNA of that person, of the DNA found on that hair or semen to the accused. That there must be a tie to the accused for you to be able to prosecute someone. So if you wait 5 years later, 1 month later even, but you realize that you can.
Let me say something, John. You have defined RAP in the general laws, even across the Western Hemisphere. The Nigerian Criminal Code defines RAP as upon penetration, RAP is complete. Yes. Upon penetration. Now, for you to prove RAP, there are 4 ingredients majorly: indecent harassment, assault, and there has to be lack of consent. So these 4 things must be established. Now, in today's during discovery,
assault, lack of consent,
assault, lack of consent, and then there must be
forceful penetration.
Forceful penetration.
Oh yeah, careful. These words are strong. May these people not get me inside trouble.
Now, all these ingredients, not all, must be present to establish that. And once you have done all these things before there's final entry, then RAP is complete according to the law. Now, if you want to now go ballistic, which during discovery, prosecution of the matter, they now can be talking about presentation of all the things you're talking about, Siemens, air drug, follicles, and all that. Okay, now, remember that, wait, let me get all the way down there, then you can go. Now, remember that once somebody has had the carnal knowledge of the next person without consent and all those things are there, they will make a report either to the authority.
Bro. Let's understand ourselves.
Bro. I want us to end this conversation. It will put me in trouble. John, let's move away from this conversation because this conversation is too heavy. These people will come after me. And they suffer. Ogawale, just please help me press X. No vex. No be say you do anything, but the conversation is too heavy. If they affect their community, make I bring Sama. At least make woman day. Make it not be like say they shave their head behind their back. At least make woman day to put mouth.
John, politically, the reason why I'm trying to recall our madam in our constituency is really because the Kogi people are trying to avoid a situation whereby Natasha will block the road for them. They don't want it to be like if another coming up in that constituency. They don't actually want Natasha case to have a precedent, and because of that, female will not follow be able to come up. So if they feel there is a need for Natasha to come down, whether it is politically motivated or not, Kogi people know what is best for them. We cannot actually be the one to decide for them. Number two,
okay, we're not deciding for them, but when they are being cajoled and bribed because of their excuse me, there've been videos of people asked to come out for empowerment, and at the end of the day, when they get up there, bro, let me learn.
Don't go down. Let me tell you how it may work. In a particular group, there can be a pro supporter and there can be the antagonist. It will not be funny to you that those people you are seeing on the screen who are telling you that, they want to give them empowerment, blah, 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 they might be those that were even intentionally sponsored by Natasha herself. So really,
let me warn Nigeria as a whole, and this includes our government and the people involved. They are setting a bad precedent. If they recall Natasha successfully, what have you done? You have enshrined it in the hearts of Nigerians that we can actually do a recall successfully. That we can actually do a recall successfully. And I'm telling you, if they recall Natasha successfully, I will start with thank God my senator is dead.
You don't buy.
Alive, I'll start. There was don't buy. If he was alive, I'll start with him. Because they are setting a bad precedence.
No.
They would have just left this woman to finish her 2 years and go in peace.
All right, we have a woman here. Let's hear from a woman. Sama Mama. Sama baby. Oh yeah, over to you. What are your thoughts?
I don't have a thought. Hello, everyone. I honestly do not have a thought because this lady's gist, maybe I missed certain things. I didn't follow it from the start, and I've been wondering what is going on. It was just part of it that I learned, But I mean, I've been listening to everyone say something, and somebody say yes, okay. And I mean, it's not news. We know the truth. We are Africans. We are Niger. It's not news that our men tend to overstep. It's not also news that most times we encourage it.
Thank you.
Okay? Because I read that thing that lady. I read one of the things she stated, and there was a part where she said that she walked into a room or she walked into a place and there were other representatives and the man was saying all those things and they were all laughing. That is the very typical of African man. It's Nigerian men pattern. But one thing is for someone to make advances on you. Another thing is for you to set the record straight and tell them you need to stop doing it. Should they continue doing it, then you can have your evidence and your proof in events. Especially knowing fully well that you live in a country where women are barely enabled.
Thank you.
So don't play the game along and then things go wrong and you come out and now start making it look like you're not a victim. Do not encourage something for the time being. And when you guys fall apart, you come out and start talking about it.
Thank you.
You understand?
Exactly.
Because like I rightly said, that behavior did that thing happen? I bet you I was not there, but I can tell you yes. Chances of that thing happening is 120%. Is normal.
And Samaria,
what?
Samaria, let me tell you the worst part. That thing might be happening and she'll be encouraging it because she's using it to gain people.
Exactly the point I'm trying to say.
She's using it to gain people that others are not
because
getting.
It's exactly. You know?
And when
at the time it was happening.
And that's why Natasha must go. That is why she must go. And they have to be all.
I believe Natasha must stay.
So,
what do you think, John? John, do you think she should go? Hold on. Let's vote here. I think she should stay. John, stay or go?
I don't think they have any legal reason to ask her to leave. If you do something wrong to me, and I complain about it, whether I am wrong about the complaint or right, it's not enough reason to recall her. It's not enough reason to recall her. Me personally, I was against her. But the time they started calling for her recall, I now started seeing truth in what she's saying, because only a guilty person will fight back that way. Only any guilty person will fight back that way.
Anytime, regardless of your likeness, regardless of your reservation, anytime a senator is confirmed to actually have his interest while representing all his people, the constituency have the right to recall her.
You say anytime a senator does what?
The constituency,
Anytime a senator does what?
Okay, anytime it is established that a senator is having self-interest over a constituency interest at the Senate, a constituency, they have the power, the right.
So can you tell me one self-interest she had?
One self-interest here is what we are discussing today now.
No, that is not self-interest. That is not self-interest. No. That she's representing a people does not mean that she should go there and become an object.
As a lawmaker, when you have allegation.
No. Self-interest. Self-interest is when she collects bribe and does not push her people's interest. Bro, let's find self-interest. Let's find self-interest. That Samaria works in an organization with me, and I harass her and she speaks up. It's not her self-interest. She's protecting herself as an individual. However, if we go for a business conversation and Samaria stops to represent the face of the company and represents her pocket, it becomes self-interest. But you cannot call her speaking up against something that affects her as a human being. It's not like say person won't buy you shout, say this person won't buy me, them saying self-interest. Like seriously. So does that mean that if I threaten my senator and my senator goes to the police and files a petition against me, that is self-interest? No. Okay. The fact that the senators does not stop them from being citizens of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and they have rights.
Okay. See, where it is coming from is this. Let me ask you a question before I respond. How do you think somebody can file a lawsuit when you have allegation of this gravity? How do you think an individual should file a lawsuit against the alleged? Let me ask you that question first. How?
When you have allegation of this, I don't understand.
Is that what? When you feel you want to really pursue a legal case against someone, how do you think you should do it? That should be my question to you.
You got evidence, right? Send the petition.
You have the evidence and you make a petition, right? But Natasha, instead of her doing that, she started on the floor, disrupting this. The video is there all over the. Sir, please, let's get something straight. Let's see what happened. Excuse me, what happened on the floor of the Senate was she being asked to move her seat. And when she was asked to move her seat, sir, please wait. When she was asked to move her seat, she did not say, "Oga, now because you harassed me, you asked me to move my seat." No, she resisted moving her seat, trying to cite reasons why she should maintain her seat. Trying to cite reasons why she should maintain her seat. Wait,
so that's the origin of this whole drama.
Yeah, that was the origin. Yeah.
She was asked to leave. She was walked out of the upper chamber, and when she walked out of when she was walked out in a disgruntled manner, she went to the press.
For what reason? Why did they ask her to leave?
Okay, so look, when we ask you to move your seat, in the Senate there are heads of commissions, like the Senate committee on this, Senate committee on this, and some of those committees are juicy. Some of those committees are juicier than the others. She was Senate Committee on Local Contents.
Okay.
And they moved her out of that to another less juicier committee. So she was trying to, to give the Senate reasons why she should remain there, and that is how it should be. And she
I agree with you, John.
She now invoked a part of the Senate Constitution that mandates her to be listened to. not as a woman, but as a senator. You get
You're only
and they did not grant her that opportunity, and she resisted as a senator because
you are not
the same way Akpoti was elected, the same way she was elected. She resisted as a senator, and at the end of the Femi, please give me a minute. And at the end of the day, when she was eventually walked out of the Senate, she now went to the press and now said it was because this happened, and I refused that this is now happening. Do you understand? So
now, let me ask Sama Baby a question. Sama Baby, imagine this place we are right now. Imagine it's a chamber. Just imagine where we are right now. Now, imagine that by level of we want to now use seniority. By level of seniority, maybe John is now a superior office senator here. Maybe by level of how you contribute. Now, you are just a member. And maybe that the priest now ask you that particular seat you are be reassigned, and the first question I want to ask you, Sama Baby,
your voice is kind of breaking up, but I'm trying to.
Yeah, your voice is breaking.
Okay, can you hear me now? Can you hear me clearly now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you.
It's because of the phone seat. Now, imagine you are in the House of Senate right now.
Right.
That is the Senate leader. To an extent, you have personal relationship with that phrase. And John is our senior. Because of the convention at the Senate, your seat has been reassigned to John. Because where you are sitting, you are sitting in a place that an opposition is supposed not to sit according to the convention of the Senate. Do you think, in all honesty, even if they did not inform you ahead of time, do you think you're supposed to put up drama at the instance of such? Do you get my question, Samara?
Yes. Okay. Let me, to be fair and in all sincerity, let me answer that question. Okay, because we know what happens in every organization, regardless of where or what settings it is. There will always be time that they have their inner meeting, they come out and change things. You come back, your position is no longer where you were, or there is promotion going on, and you're thinking you're the one to be promoted, and someone else gets promoted instead of you. These happen, okay? But how do you now react? How do you handle it in event it happens to you? This is where maturity, this is where your personality comes in. If, like John said, if that was the case and she went straight to the media and started saying, okay, it happened this way because of that way, then I would say she didn't play the right part there. As a senator, as somebody that a lot of women look up to, as somebody representing Nigeria in a certain stage, that is not the right way to do something. It's like cry baby. That's not the way. Because like I was saying, we've all been cheated in one way or the other. We've all felt that we've been cheated in one organization or the other. But how do you handle it? Do you go to the leader? Do you go to the orga, the person that made the decision to say, okay, I would have thought this, that. Okay, this, that. I don't know if I'm answering your question, but that would be the right way.
Okay, sorry, sure.
Wait. No, she's speaking right now. You don't have to. Let's get the protocol right now. Let her land her point. We are enjoying.
So, I would say that I would ask why and that. Is there a deficiency? Is there a way I'm not doing right? Is there a reason why this person is preferred more than me? Let's not forget the fact that I heard that, country with so many senators, we have just how many women as part of the...
Let's not.
We all understand that this black thing that women are meant to be somewhere, we are not meant to be where men are. It happens. Of course, we know it happens.
It's not true. If you
no, but we know it happens. Okay, it's part of the politics thing back home. But that having been said,
please hold on. John, what you are doing right now was what Natasha did at the floor of the Senate. A speaker is having a flaw. Let her have her time and analyze the matter.
I didn't interrupt her now. You're the one interrupting her because she just kept quiet now.
Okay. Continue.
So, I wouldn't go to the media and say, especially loudly, for someone of that name. Even if you wanted to file harassment, I wouldn't want to just make it look, okay, this is why it happened. No, now. Why didn't you say it the whole time? Why would you bring it up at the heat of the whatever that was going on or is going on with them. Okay? So even if, I just don't know, but I would think like, there are people that should run to the media. This is not some blog or some influencer fight of a thing. This is something this is about the country. So even if you want to, even if you want to like tell them, okay, disagree with their decision, you have to do it in a good way, in an appropriate way. And don't just start rushing and putting things like that into the heat of the whatever they had going on as the reason why you were treated unfairly. You can back it up later on.
So, Samaria, I agree with you 100%. I agree with you 100%. I agree that she acted emotionally, but let me play the devil's advocate. This woman said that she had a bill of the Anjuka Steel project. I know the Anjuka Steel project. When I was a kid, I had uncles that worked there. Fantastic project that will liberate Nigeria out of poverty. It is in her constituency. And she had a bill. If you go and watch Natasha'S presentation on the Anjuka Steel project, brilliant presentation. She told you the factors limiting that project, how the Russians were the ones that built it, and they were sent out, and they were almost 90% completed, and all that. She now said that even when she presented that Anjuka bill, it was hijacked because of the same reason. Don't you think that this woman has swallowed a lot for a very long time?
It is possible too.
Femi, please do not interrupt me. You made these rules. And she was thinking that she could cope with it just for the best interest of her people. Because if Anjuka still becomes a success, the people of Central Kogi will be extremely successful because they decided in their constituency. They will have a lot of jobs. They'll have increased internally generated revenue and all that. So don't you think that this woman has swallowed this for a very long time? Honestly, I am not in support of what, if it was done to her, I am not in support of it. What I am not in support of is she not waiting to gather concrete evidence if she does not have.
I see where you're coming from. And I also see
kind of evidence
that
that if she had.
section.
There's a kind of evidence that if she had. What I expect her to do is just to go to CNN and play it. Let the whole world see it.
Well, I see where you're coming from. Especially like you rightly said, that's why I say I don't know what is going on there. If this has been happening and they've been making her feel that way, or then of course at the time you have to speak up. But if it had just happened and then she ran to the media to talk about that, then everybody would think like, okay, she's lying. It's because of this reason.
You need to go and listen to her interview. She started from the beginning. She started from the beginning. What I am against is...
Okay, then if there's something she's not saying, let them go to court then. If that's, let them go to court. But that shouldn't be a reason to... I don't know. If she has that evidence... If she has evidences for hate...
Samaria, root court.
So if she has evidences, let her go there and prove that this is why she's being treated that way.
Samaria, root court. Is it the court, is it the judges that they are building houses for in Katampe that will come and give a contradicting judgment? And seriously, there are 3 houses of government in Nigeria.
She shouldn't go back to work.
Ababio and Wiki.
Samara, can I ask you a question, please? I probably want to answer John again because it's too controversial. Belongs to a party that lacks structure, so he will not really understand.
I agree. I belong to a party that lacks structure.
I do not.
He belongs to a party structure, so he will not really be able to structure this.
I agree. But you belong to a party. You belong to a party that your presidential candidates have houses in Dubai.
It does not matter. DM can be and can have investment.
Okay, no problem.
Let me ask about this one. Now, the question is, I know you are. Now,
yeah,
the question also is, can you help me simply define what emotional intelligence is and how emotional intelligence be applied even in the face of rejection? Do you get my question?
People react to stressors in different ways. People react to situations, things in different ways.
But
Everyone is not the same when it comes to reaction. How you react to respond to situations like that.
For a public officer, what do you think is the minimum?
I mean, that's what we say. We say it. You know, they say person where they teach me anger management. Don't woos on me. Don't vex woos on me. You know, teach me anger management, but you don't provoke me. Woos on me join. So I mean, the fact that she's someone that is highly respected and there are a lot that is expected of her does not still mean that. You know what I mean?
She's human.
It has happened. Especially if it's been. That's why I say, especially if it has been happening over and over again, and there's height to what you can endure anymore. You can act out of control.
But you know there is also a concept of if I allege you of, you could speak up on you. If I allege you of something, after you did this, it's also good for us to hear your side. That's true.
But I don't know why people are saying which court. I don't know, but well, this lady is married, I guess. She has a husband. Unless she's also trying to protect her family and all that. But
Samaria, when I say which court,
now let me
Samaria, when I say which court, I want you to follow the trend of the judgments that have been passed by the Supreme Court for the past 2 years. None of them is judgment. The Supreme Court passed a judgment and said after the judgment that nobody should make reference to that judgment, because in the Nigerian Constitution, a Supreme Court judgment is like a law because it's the apex court. But they said nobody should make reference to that judgment. Which court do you want to go to?
Which court? It is what it is. And then she should go ahead and say it. Let her go ahead and release it to the public then. If they don't want her to prove herself and she has her evidences, let her go ahead and let her out.
It's all your shalaye job.
But I doubt there's anything.
Samaria, why do you doubt?
You know when you're pointing with one finger, the other four will pointing back at you.
Okay.
Nigerian politics is not a joke. The other day you were having a conversation about career women elected. There are certain heights and positions that before you get there, you must have done one or two things. Okay? I'm not saying she got there in a bad way.
Does that make it right?
We all have.
It
doesn't make it right. But you're not just gonna. They say he that goes to a pity goes with a clean hand. That's just, so instead of you in a point, or just because you're trying to prove something and you spoil another one, just leave it alone.
Samaria, you know why I'm seriously against this thing, huh? Because I am against people being favored because of gender or anything in the workplace. And that is why I feel that if we let this happen, then if we let this continue, then we'll now start seeing situations where people are favored because of their relationship with certain people.
No, John, you are missing.
Please let me land, Femi.
Let John land.
There was a time I had the wife of my very good friend working with me. I treated her like every other employee. Even when she was heavy, and she came to me and asked me to tell someone to help her do something, I told her, no, I'm not going to do it. You are heavy, I understand, but you should be able to manage your colleagues. Because you report to me does not mean that because you Samaria is my friend's wife, Femi reports to me also. Now you're heavy, and I'm there, Femi, leave that to you and go and help her. No, I expect you to go and meet Femi. Femi, please, can you help me do this thing? I expect you to go and meet Femi, even without my knowledge. I shouldn't know about that. All I need to do is to assign you a task and assign Femi a task. If you can get Femi to do your task completely, it's your business. I don't care. So why I am against this is if actually what she's alleging is true and it becomes successful, then she might be the second deputy Senate president in proxy. Just because of a relationship. That is what men should actually stop completely. You don't do that because you will be compromising a nation, a workplace, or a project. Let the best hands do their jobs. I'm against any form of harassment, HRS, if it is your life, save the time.
No vex, brother.
Any form of hate or any form of a man being victimized, I'm against it. But
and the free. Okay, go ahead when you finish.
But let's try and understand it from our own point of view also.
Yeah, and the reason when you asked me why I think she does not have evidence, the reason is this: we function differently. The way we do things back home is not the way we do things overseas. Okay, though that is what is going on the politics, Nigeria-related things. But people overseas that live overseas that understand it more tend to use evidences. They tend to keep records of every detail when it comes to SH in advance for you. Knowing where they live, knowing where the society, knowing how it works. For a lady back there that understands that this is a norm. It's not norm, I'm not saying it's norm, but it's a norm where we are coming from. Where men do things like that and they go free and we just ignore it. Like you were saying, like you were saying earlier, the things you do on a live, you play along with everyone because this is how we play where we came from. You may not keep evidence, you may not keep records, you may not know that a day will come when you will need it. But if that person were to live in a structured place or places like overseas, and this is where you're operating, then you may want to keep some of those things in case and in event you need it in future. So chances are there that she may not have kept records.
And from the way she's going, from her body language, she might have kept records. Because she has been saying it since, that if she releases what she has, that the whole world will go.
Then let her go ahead, then that's beautiful then.
So now in this kind of battles, you wait, you don't release the best. It's too early in a battle to start buying princes. It's too early. In the beginning of a battle, if you catch a prince, it's not good to buy him. You wait. Because if you buy him, the battle will end quick. You want to finish all his soldiers before you.
That's beautiful then. If she has, then that's beautiful. I hope she do.
So she, and those evidences are the easiest thing to obtain if she was smart. Very easy. The phone conversation.
That's what I'm saying. If she's someone who thinks ahead, then she needs. Getting those evidences.
She could be wired. It's very easy to obtain.
Messages.
And I believe that if she did not have that evidence, she wouldn't have gone to the press. If you don't have
people
that evidence,
people like lawsuits overseas, so that's why they keep evidence at any slighted thing.
If she did not
so
have
if
that
she wasn't thinking that way, she may not have.
What I expected her to do after that outburst in the house is call Oga. Now because of this thing, they do me this thing. Oga, this thing not too much. Oga, I make you see. Oga go say, now you come now, baby. Baby, now you come.
Sama baby.
It's very easy to gather those evidence, especially with random men.
At the end of the
With
day,
their head.
John, at the end of the day, I can bet with you 100% that Natasha will not be able to bet any substantial evidence. I will be honest with you. She will not be able to play.
I'm not feel better you.
If Natasha have even evidence, she will not be able to identify. If she has,
Someone asked me a question about if I knew what happened in a wedding that I shared had happened. Would I have had? I don't understand what the person is typing though, but if only you know what evidence have saved me from in this life, you will not say that again. Always be one step ahead of your enemy.
John is just trying to be. I don't know whether Natasha has promised him a particular project or not. He's just trying to be unintentional.
But I'm trying to understand the difference between your own point and his own point.
I don't understand.
No, is that number one. I'm saying that all those who want to recall Natasha, I am supporting all of Natasha.
Why?
On what ground? On what ground?
Why?
Number one, I've told you on ground that everything Natasha has been doing for the past 2 months is based on individual interest.
How?
Number one, I told you, if Natasha is actually serious in her constituency, in the first place, Natasha would have filed a lawsuit in their property and not react in the way they reacted. Number two,
but we've addressed this one that people have different ways of reacting to situations.
Are you saying that you have? Are you saying that you
But
have?
that's, I mean, I wouldn't count that as part of the reason why. So tell me another one, please.
But Samaria, Femi, let me ask you a question. Are you saying that in Kogi Central that there aren't women that are being harassed?
am I saying what?
In Kogi Central that there are no women that are being harassed?
That John, don't get me
Now,
wrong.
Do you know what it means for someone to come out publicly?
If you
Someone
agree
come
that
out
there are
publicly
women that
and say that.
if you agree that there are women that are being aged, if you agree that there are women that are aged, you also agree that she standing up against it is in the best interest of those women
Of everyone. I bet.
that are being aged.
I bet. Mm-hmm.
No, see number
No, you
one.
don't agree.
It's not step equal.
I can't help you.
Anything you cannot prove beyond reasonable doubt will still be considered as a personal interest. Trust me.
But do not also forget, Femi, do not also forget that for that lady to have come out, like we said, or like I put, publicly to the media to say things like that. Do you know what it means? You don't just open your mouth to say things that you're not sure of. It means
I'm not saying
95%.
Look at what
It happened.
Somebody, I'm not
Look at
saying
what
that.
Gift wrote here. Look at what Gift wrote here. She does not have the moral grounds, to be in the Senate. If she does not have the moral grounds, there is no senator in Nigeria that has the moral grounds to be in the Senate. If not,
If it's that one, none of them then.
This morality based on the amount of knack where they don't knack. And that's a knack.
Okay, none of them is fit to be there.
So obviously people don't knack for this life. So no even go there. Don't even think. If the morality they talk, there is no moral senator in that house. Let's forget about morality.
If John said there is no morality,
According to European and American standard, there is no Nigerian man that is moral. If we were to use a broad standard, nobody moral for Niger.
Maybe do you know that if you go to NYC camp in Abuja, that girls pay money to be posted into the National Assembly? What are they going to the National Assembly to look for?
John, if you now want to
stop that.
among people, if you now want to find the immorality among the immorals, you have to go more structured. That's what my argument is all about. All those ranting Natasha is doing, fine, is because she's wounded, she wants to what to air, blah, blah, the thing. But it does not happen like that within a plan and a legal setting.
That is the steps. These are the things it requires to get to that top. As a woman, even the men, they're also victims. Before you get to a certain position, you're expected to have said yes to certain things. Go out of your way. Amen.
Exactly.
To get there. No. So in the event that you disagree, you don't want to do it, they'll put you down and go with the ones that agree to do it. It's everywhere.
That's why she needs to understand the system.
So this is why she needs to cry out. No, that is why she needs to cry out and put a stop to it. This is
But do you think that crying out to put a stop to it?
It may not have. It may not have, because it has been happening.
Whether you like it or not, the amount of traction this has gained.
But at least she has said something about it.
We'll make the next Randi-esque senator we have in the world, in Nigeria, to proceed with caution. Even if you want to ask, act your style.
Let me tell you, John is populist. John is someone that does not believe in structure. He believes that things should be done anyhow. to achieve a goal. John does not care how it is done. He only care about the anticipated.
It's not the same structure APC have that have brought Nigeria.
But the truth is that when you are inside a corrupt system as Nigeria, even to fight your enemy, you have to be more tactical. You have to be able to bring proofs, and you have to be sure that when you embark on this journey, you will not end up acting or foolish. I am not saying that it has spoken up, and I'm not saying that what she bad, but I'm telling you, on this ground, she cannot defend herself. And what the law recognizes, the law does not recognize emotion. The law recognizes your ability to prove case and successfully ensure that case you are able to win it. If you make a case and you cannot win it, trust me sincerely, everybody will just say, oh, that's how woman be. And God can make other women who have genuine not to be happy. So what we're saying is that Natasha could have been better, but not better. But two days that Natasha has been disrespectful to the entire Senate. No, she's supposed not to have been disrespectful to that extent and to that level.
Femi,
Let me land my point.
Chuba Okadibo of blessed memory, representing Anambra North Senatorial District, carry mates for shoulder. Boom! Oh, I don't what do you
That is as one said it. One, please. So I want you to answer me. Chuba Okadibo of blessed memory. Chuba Okadibo of blessed memory. Carry mates or keep for in village. Oh yeah, let me that after that. Let me that the first to answer him. Pastor Free at one point or the other said if every do bad, one day one that some people will be or they can use somebody as a scapegoat. They can use some scapegoat. Some people can do it, they can get away with it, but some people try it and they may not get away with it, according to Pastor Freeze. So if I am now using this book, I may tell you that, well, that one was able to go with it, the structure of the Senate, but Natasha may not go with it because of the fact that the system right now is different from the system you're talking about last time. These women need to be decent about the way they bring up their case. They should not be like to do Eneki or to do whatsoever.
Tolu wants me to give you a name from here. It's not from here.
They should not be emotional like Tolu, who is just totally, want to put everything at our face.
Tolusha, you don't see your life.
She has to give you a name.
No, unfortunately, she cannot give it because it's a virtual. So, the point is, can stop emotional and try to be logical. Even in the house, even in the family, if a woman has a case against a man, the woman may use sympathy by based on it present the matter. So it is not the case that matters sometimes. It is how make the case.
When you say in a house, are you talking about a matrimony? Because it is very wrong for us to compare a woman's role in a matrimony and her role as a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
See, I'm telling you that
in that Senate, there is no man, no woman. They were all duly and legally voted for.
In fact, let me even tell you, to me, Samaria is even more intelligent than Natasha. They call Natasha and put Samaria. See, it's very simple. My point is, and I will stand on it. If the constituency say they are the one recalling her, if they feel that's what they should do, so be it. Then any individual who is a female that is going to Senate as a female, you now understand that.
You know why I like Nigerian politics? When people support evil and think that evil will not get to them, it will happen in their lifetime. You see all this nonsense people are supporting, it will happen for their lifetime. You see all these, they come out, they suspend governor of a full state when they support them. One house man go enter tomorrow, face Lagos, declare state of emergency for Lagos. See, you are
I don't know. I mean,
not-
to be honest with you, there's no reason for that suspension. Period. You should just let that.
see all this evil that you people are supporting just because it plays.
Because she's spoke. She came out to speak up.
It aligns with your, and I'm going to be very blunt about it. It aligns with your cultural, religious, or ethnic affiliation. Bro, the good thing about history is that we will be alive.
But John, remember that in Oyo State, Ladoja was removed.
That is freeze.
Remember Chris Uba and Chris Ngige, Anambra State.
Ngige was not removed.
He was.
Ngige was not removed.
Who remembers Ngige and Uba?
Yeah. Let me think. I think he was removed.
He was removed.
I think he was removed because I remember the.
I want to explain.
Yes, he was removed because I remember doing the tribunal.
I want to explain something to you, and I want you to give me your ears, huh? Removal of suspension, declaring state of emergency in a state is suspending the governor and appointing a sole administrator, which is always, in most times, the highest ranking officer in that brigade. But the State House of Assembly remains. What was done is not the state of emergency, it's declaration of martial law. When you suspend the State of House of Assembly, the government.
Is it that one? Okay.
What about Ayodele Fayoshe in Ekiti State under Obasanjo?
Was the State House of Assembly suspended?
He was shall remove whatever political trick they played.
Was the State House of Assembly suspended?
Let me answer you.
Oh yeah, Femi, now, go ahead. Let's hear you.
No, I'm making a big mistake here. The case of Ayo that he is talking about, only one personality was only one personality was involved in corruption case was Ayo. Hence, there was no reason for the lawmaker to act. However, it was through the court process that they used to Ayo. The freeze is also given as an example. The number two thing that in the game for fact of electoral parties, they did not actually sack other individuals because
why wasn't he sacked?
Electoral malpractice. Now that was what Peter Obi made as a case that it was electoral malpractice.
So Ngige was not sacked by the president, but was sacked by a court of competent jurisdiction, sir.
Excuse me, sir.
But Fayoshe was sacked. Ladoja was sacked.
And I'll tell you again. And I'll tell you again. And I'll tell you again.
I was quiet when he was speaking, and I was not responding. Now he's not allowing me to make my point.
You're giving false information. You don't give false information.
Emotional intelligence. I said Natasha
emotional. Let me for you that I know that all you talk about is selfish interest.
Don't let me land my
point. I can't be emotional.
Allow him to make his point. When he finishes, then he can.
Or Bongoli. You are two people I can never get emotional from. No,
when he's done, he can tell him to wrong where he got it wrong.
Yeah, but I just told him where he got it wrong. I said,
allow him to say his view. You can correct him when he finishes.
Natasha. Now, about the case was that it was a case between people. The lawmaker, because it was a case between.
Please be paying attention because this place he's talking about, I know nothing about it, to be honest with you.
I'm paying attention. I'm listening. I'm 100%. I'm just trying to stay awake because I'm tired, and I don't want to end the live because we don't normally talk about Nigeria's problem. So today that we have decided to talk about Nigeria's problem, please bear with us. Pop my money gun while you're at it. Oh yeah, continue.
Now,
continue.
The case between Fu and lawmaker Johnny talking about the unrest was based on this dispute being sponsored and enabled by the governor and the lawmaker. And because there must be peace, the president has no choice than to suspend them. Obasanjo has also done it during his time. So the suspension does not mean autocratic leadership in the whole end of it. And at the same time, it does not mean that, at the end of the day, they are not going to bring back a democratic rule. They just want peace to reign in that place. Imagine.
Now, Sheyi Law sent me a document. I'm going to show you this. Sorry, I'm looking for what's the name of the person I called again? I don't tire. Sheyi Law. Just hold on 1 second.
Okay, why don't please mention the data? Amara, can I ask you a question? Imagine you are working as a lawmaker. Imagine they are not paying you your salary past 6 months. Do you allow peace to reign? Do you think you will allow peace to if you are not being paid for as a lawmaker? Government is paying it.
Okay.
It's not only the lawmakers are being owned, even the teachers, everyone has get owned.
All right.
So
sorry guys, I need to show you this.
The government has the right not to pay their salaries.
I need to show you this. I need to show you this so we can look at it together. So this is a chat between Sheyi Law and he sent me this. I don't know if we can read this. So the writing is small. I'll get my glasses. So this apparently was what was discussed. If you read this, it says, see what Tinubu proposed to the governor before the Supreme Court gave almost the same judgment. I now ask, can I post? But for one reason or the other, I just thought about it. Let me not post before they now start saying I'm working for Tinubu. You understand? Because Nigerians, they don't know borders. They don't. So let me try and read the document so that we can at least have some informed conversation about this. I'm tired. Alrighty. So after this, I will just use style go. I'm wearing my glasses. So it says, all matters instituted in the courts by Governor of Rivers State and his team in respect of the political crisis in Rivers State shall be withdrawn immediately. All impeachment proceedings against the Governor of Rivers State by the Rivers State House of Assembly should be dropped immediately. The leadership of the Rivers State Assembly, as led by Senator Ono Martin Amawule, shall be recognized alongside the 27 members who resigned from the PDP. The remunerations and benefits of all members of the Rivers State House of Assembly and their staff must be reinstated immediately, and the Governor of Rivers State shall henceforth not interfere with the full funding of the Rivers State House of Assembly. The Rivers State House of Assembly shall choose where they want to sit and conduct their legislative business without interference and or hindrance from the executive arm of government. The governor of Rivers State, Safubara, shall represent the state budget to a properly constituted Rivers State House of Assembly. The names of all commissioners in Rivers State Executive Council who resigned their appointments because of the political crisis in the state should be resubmitted to the House of Assembly for approval. There should not be a caretaker committee for the local government in Rivers State. The dissolution of the local government administration is null and void and shall not be recognized. And I see so many signatures here. I even see Wike's signature here, Seth. If you see, you see near some Wiki. So there was some sort of dialogue that Fubara just refused to work with. Yes.
Let's call a spade, and I'm speaking without fear or favor. Daddy Freeze, what do you call dialogue? I and Femi have an issue. I want Femi to come to my house. Femi said that he wants me to go to the markets. I have my demands, Femi has his demands. We'll come to you to resolve that issue. And everything in the resolution is only Femi's demands. Is that a dialogue? Is that a dialogue? That please, Rivers people know the truth. Rivers people know the truth. And I'm saying this to you, Daddy Freeze, that you cannot call that document a dialogue because everything is in the favor of the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory. So now, after the whole thing, that document you're talking about was the meeting they had with the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria a long time ago. It's not recent. So after the whole thing, they proceeded with the court proceeding, which is the only legal place to seek redress.
But the court came out with a similar ruling.
I'm getting somewhere, please. I'm getting somewhere. They proceeded to court and they went to the appeal court. They went to the Supreme Court and the Supreme Court its judgment. Hence, Governor Similai Fubora proceeded to implementing the judgment of the Supreme Court by carrying the same budget the Supreme Court asked him to go and present to the same National Assembly. Got there and they locked him out. And you're telling me that this is fair? Let's call a spade for once in this country. Why can't we like this?
Okay. Rounding off our thoughts, because I'm tired. And when I'm tired, I will make mistakes. And I don't want to make mistakes. Before Samaria will be angry with me tomorrow for what I said. Someone said Sheila told Idris he regrets. Idris. Are we mentioning Idris here? Idris. No, be only Idris. Now Bobrisky.
Let me go clear. Just on the when there is resolution to people, compromise, and compromise sometimes it comes with some level of what's it called? Somebody losing. Let's assume I disrespect Sama Baby now. In my own
Baby.
Yeah. So imagine now that the freeze can come and allow us and why do you disrespect her? Oh, she has always been disrespecting me, blah blah. Then at the end, I say, okay, I have to first apologize to you. Even if Sapa Baby must apologize to me, I have to first apologize to you. Compromise is me, knowing fully well for the sake of peace, I should apologize to you. Then after, you cannot say, oh, I did not mean it that way, Femi, I'm sorry. That is just what happened in what the priest read out. If you look at the document that DF actually read out, you realize that most of the crime committed by Fubara. And because of that, the resolution of that, for them to be corrective mayor, the culture of compromise will be Fubara. No matter you demanding that of a.
Thank you. How are you guys ignoring what Fubara did? How do you go and demolish a house of assembly?
Daddy Freeze. The Land Use Act of 1978.
Aye.
And done. Every 78. Felt that the nation was them
breaking up.
Network is very bad.
He has the boss. Can you hear me? He has the boss.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Network is very bad.
He has the boss.
Johnny, why Johnny is still struggling? Just simple sense. The point remains that. Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, sorry.
Can you hear me now?
Okay, you are struggling with your network earlier. Oh yeah.
But can you hear me now?
Yeah.
So the Land Use Act of 1978 gives the governors the powers to do that. to demolish that building. Go and read the Land Use Act of 1978. He's the governor of Rivers State. So let's not. Fubara has his faults.
Many has many faults.
There is nothing like many of. There's nothing like many of. Fubara has been law abiding from the beginning till the end. He has not done anything outside the ambient of the law. Please, if he has done one, they should come out and say he's no longer governor now. His immunity has been withdrawn, right? Please, they should arrest him if he has done any. Fubara, at the Peter side, said one thing, that Tinubu and the FCT minister have to really tell us, is there any other thing that they're hiding? Is there any other thing? Is there any other relationship outside this? Because he cannot hold a whole state in ransom because of one man's interest. I don't hold the whole state to ransom. And the truth is that the fact that we see these things are because of ethnic, religious, political affiliations, we try to sugarcoat it. Tomorrow, one Hausa man from Kano become president, and he will do exactly the same thing on Lagos.
Which makes a lot of sense, John. We have sent a very funny precedent. We have set a very funny precedent.
Your internally generated revenue, you use it to be building skyscrapers in Kano. Bro, I am not. You see me. What is wrong in my eyes, and what is good. I will never stand and defend a bad thing. Tomorrow, if P2P does the same thing, I will say P2P is wrong.
Okay, so that Daddy Freeze can go. And I understand why Daddy Freeze was requesting for a professional lawyer the other time. Because John has successfully misinterpreted the Land Use Act. And he has made us look so silly in front of the law.
Okay, read the Land Use Act. Let's see.
You know, the land use has only given the governor the right to demolish property which does not really have right of ownership or is also against public interest.
So,
the House of
talking about?
Wait, the House of Assembly is actually a kind of co-governance stuff.
The House of Assembly building. The House of Assembly building is on a land that belongs to the River State government.
Let me tell you.
Stop. You're a tenant in my house. You're a tenant in my house. You're a tenant in my house, and I don't want you there again. I have the right to demolish my house. You're a tenant in my house, and I don't want you again. I have the right to demolish my house.
No. You're coming down.
Government of the River State government. It does not belong to any other person. So please, don't come out. You see all this nonsense where they read, you go tell me, say, hey, bro.
John, be coming down now.
You can't do that with me. You can't do that with me.
John, be coming down.
You cannot tell me. Bro. The Land Use Act, when Wike was governor, Wike revoked. Is Wike not revoking from people who already own because he's governor? And then of demolition structures in Abuja because he's governor. Yes, he is.
I told you.
So why is it that Simi demolished a structure that belongs to River State government? And he did not say he demolished it because he wants to demolish it. He said he wants to revamp it. He wants to build a new structure. He has the right as the governor. What are you talking about?
Now, maybe you see now, he has obstructed time to
John cannot come down and allow you finish. You know? He will let you finish.
I've come down for him.
John, even though he said
All right, guys. Lovely hanging out with you. I think who else? Oh yeah, Femi, finish.
I gotta go.
My point remains that we cannot always talk in a structure.
You to your network no good. You will want finish.
Now I want to make sure that is that John be right. John don't really understand law very well. Very important for is law
If your network not good, we can barely hear you. It's working badly. Don't worry. Maybe you can reserve it and say it next time.
John Audio. It's John Audio. I think he has muted. Let me just complete my.
Let me mute.
Don't please mute for one, and so that the face can go.
Oh yeah,
My
quick,
point
quick,
is-
quick, sharp, sharp.
My point is, don't you understand that we are not interpreting the law from social media? John is just giving us the social media law. The law has to be read and interpreted by those people who are in charge of the law itself. Fubara did something wrong by demolishing the house. And the fact that they sack Fubara or they suspend him does not imply that he's going to set bad precedent. It will rather correct some mayor in the society. Sometimes don't play the hand
John, stop.
that helps you. It is very, very important. And on Natasha, I support her to be recalled because she's too emotional for her to be a leader at this current dispensation of governance. And that would be my point so that the face can go. I submit. Yeah.
Samaria, thank you so much. It's not easy for a woman to put up with this.
I thought you wanted to say something serious.
John, thank you so much for coming around. Everyone, thank you for watching. Thank you for not buying my stars and my money guns. Next time I will be shutting the live down. We'll be on for 2 hours. When I not buy, no worry. Next time I go to off am. All right. Take care.
All right.
Good night, everyone.
Enjoy your weekend.
Thank you so much, Sama.